Hello and welcome back to another video. This time I just mounted the camera, plugged the power in, turned it on and hit record while I'm getting ready and trying to get motivated here. Getting ready to head next door to Holiday, do some editing. So that's what my story is, and I'm sticking to it. So, that's the story anyway. Ready to back out here if I can get my pants all in order. I haven't even driven a tenth of a mile in the last few days because I took a picture of, I should do it now so that way I can see how many days so I can, before I back out of here. I'm at 155,055.5 miles. And I took a picture of that a few days ago. I think it was a few days ago. We'll find out later. I can check the dates on these two pictures so I can figure out what the time frame is in between them. Well, hopefully the good Lord's going to have something happen pretty quick here, because I keep having some debates with him about me going to work or something. And I am not afraid of work. I will go work my tail off. I know if I work my tail off, depending on the job I get, I know this channel will take a hit, and I don't want that to happen. So I think there's some serious importance to this channel. Otherwise, God wouldn't have guided me to do it, and I don't think He'd be guiding me to relax and trust Him, and I wouldn't feel like He doesn't want me to work a normal job or something. I can't quite figure out what I'm feeling about that, because I know He doesn't. I know I can feel that He doesn't want me to work a normal job. You know, I wish I could explain it better. And I tried seeing if some churches were hiring or something. So I thought, well, maybe if I was working at church, He'd be okay with that. Well, that didn't pan out too well either. Sorry, I was getting all into paying attention driving. I forgot I was filming. Well, here goes another boring video again. Started out okay, I guess, but then I got busy looking at traffic and totally forgot about the camera. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to neglect you. Whoo-wee! So, I got a hair in my hair, something else. So, I don't know. I've been kind of really getting frustrated with this. You know, I've been out of work for 10 months now, beginning of June. I have survived Minnesota winter in my Class C camper here. There's no way I could have survived this winter in this camper if it wasn't for the church, some of the churches in the area, and the community. I mean, I'm trying to toot my own horn. I'm a people person, and I don't hide what I am, who I am, or what's going on in my life. I mean, sure, there's some things I keep private, that we all do, so I don't announce, everything just to strangers, but I'm an open book, and then as I get to know all the different people in the community more, you talk to them more, then they're curious what you do for a living, then you start telling them your story and what's going on and all that stuff, and as you learn each other. So they've all got, this whole community around here has gotten to know me pretty good, and they like me. Most people do, not to sound like a fathead once again, but I am a good man, and I don't need those on anymore. And I'm a people person, and I always try to lift people up and be a positive influence. So, and because that's who I am, is always trying to lift people up and be a positive influence, I'm accepted by a lot of people very well. And it's more than that, but that's kind of natural that's the way that it goes, And at one point, God had told me that I needed to work on my pride, meaning I needed to learn how to accept help because I was too big for my britches. Like, I can do it on my own, And I can, kind of. Just kind of, Lord. Just trying to explain something here. But, and at one point, God had told me He was going to send help, and I needed to learn how to accept it. In one of my videos, there was a homeless guy, Gregory, that out of nowhere, while I was crying to God about winter coming and not knowing how I was going to survive, this guy knocked at my camper and said, "I came to give you money." What a rush. So I got a video about that. So many other things. God has worked so many amazing ways in my life, and especially in the last few years. I mean, He's always done amazing things throughout my whole life. My third video, I wasn't used to being on camera. I think it was my third video now. I told my brick story, and not too many people have looked at it. I think it's got like 19 views or something, but it's a true story. And from that day on, I would never doubt God's existence again, even though I knew He already existed. I got in kind of a little argument with Him. And he showed Himself to me in just an amazing way. And I was throwing F-bombs at Him and all kinds of stuff. I was mad at my life. I was hurting, But He let me know He was there. And, God, it's amazing. And He keeps doing that. And the community, like I said, churches in the community help me. I know some people, they may think I'm crazy. I even told God that when He said He wanted me to start talking about Him more. So people might think I'm crazy. He said, it's okay, I'll always have Him. And that's true, too. It's been a real struggle not working. And for a while, I just, after my first so many applications and interviews in June, July, which all my interviews have went really well. And, so I start to think, I wonder if it's my age or something. That's what I started to think. But then after getting so many applications and so many good interviews, then I start thinking, well, maybe it's God, I don't know what it is. I'm qualified or more than qualified for all the jobs that I've applied for, and all the interviews have went extremely well. I've not had a bad interview. So, and because I feel like God doesn't want me to work a normal job, I start thinking, well, it must be God not letting me get to work. Because I put out a boatload of applications, tons, hundreds, and I mean hundreds. If I keep going at it, who knows? I bet you if I really start banging away at it super hard again, I bet you I could be over 1,000 applications within a couple months. Because right now, I've definitely probably about 400 or something like that. I was at 300 and something for a while, but then on my applied section and my everything's digital now. It's weird. I'm old school, so I'm used to paper applications and stuff. So now it's digital. So there's advantages to it because some of them you can just apply. So, I missed. How long is this? Okay, I better watch my time here so I don't get too long. So because I feel this from the Lord that He doesn't want me to work, I keep saying a normal job. I don't understand it because I don't know if I just feel Him not wanting me to work or something, like for a corporate place or something. And because He wanted me to start talking about it more, and I didn't want to be on camera. I was afraid of the camera shy, even though I'm a very good people person. I figured doing this channel was one of the best things because I put it on YouTube and on Rumble. And I figure me talking about God and sharing my struggles and my faith and all that, it's the best way I can do it right now to give back. So there's lots of people that have access to it. A lot more people can have access to it than me just meeting people and interacting with them, which I still do that too, no matter what. And I still help people even though I'm out of work. If I see somebody with their hood up, I offer them a hand or tools if I got them, and I help people in other ways too. Just it's my nature. I keep always saying helping other people, but I guess you could say serving. If we're gonna put it in kind of Jesus Christ terms, that's what I've been doing, is serving people. But every time I feel, because of how I feel about this job situation deal, I did took a break for a while after the first couple months, and because I kept feeling God telling me to just be still, relax, trust Him. It'll all come to me. Everything will fall into place. And it was good for me because I was working in a foundry, and it was really tough on my feet because I was on my feet for 10, 12 hours a night, 5 days a week. And was making all right money, but then my fingers started I've always healed and always been healthy and don't take medicines or nothing. 57. And when I was working at the foundry, all of a sudden my fingers started going numb from here through back on both hands. Then it got into my toes and started going numb back. And I started thinking about my health and all this other stuff. And I'm sure it was the foundry now, because since I've been out of work and away from there, my hands are back to normal. Before I couldn't even, especially my left hand, I couldn't take cashews out of a can because I couldn't feel them. I didn't know if I had something in my hand or not. So I rely by sight when I was grabbing stuff that I can see that I got a hold of it, And but my hands are back to normal. My feet are just amazing. My toes still get a little bit of the numb stiffness in them, but them are getting better too. Just my overall health has been getting better, although it's been psychologically and emotionally tough being out of work, surviving through winter, cooped up in a box, because I'm in a little camper, staying in a parking lot in town pretty much. Because before, when I had income, I'd bounce all around, so I got different scenery. I don't feel like I'm gonna get kicked out of somewhere because I'm at a different place all the time. But when you're at the same lot all the time because you can't afford gas to be driving around to different places, well, then you start worrying, are they gonna come chase you out of here because you've been here too long? And I'm a camper, so I stick out like a sore thumb. So we'll see how it all goes. But I've been really getting frustrated with it, and debating with God about it, that I'm going to work. I got to go to work, And what's funny about that is, even though I'm telling him I'm going to work, if you don't want it to happen, it ain't going to happen. But I got to try again. I've been telling them to please let me, because even the temp agency said they couldn't get me work before, and I haven't been back to them yet. But because I keep feeling, and every time I fill out an application or go to work, I feel like I'm betraying God or going against Him. It's a weird feeling. But I am not afraid of work. I will work. Heck, worked the last 2.5 years in a foundry, which was the hardest job I've ever done, and I tore it up. I lit it up. I showed them I'm the man, you know. I outproduced first shift and other people every day for 2.5 years, pretty much. I mean, there might have been a couple days out of 2.5 years. There might have been maybe 10 days or something, 10 days or less or something. I don't know, that I didn't outproduce other people that were running, you know. And anyway, I ain't gonna get into that whole, go down that rabbit hole. But I don't work there no more. My unemployment got denied, and I've been out of work for 10 months and survived the winter, thankfully, to churches and community. And it's been really tough, though, because it's always just enough to get by. God said He'd provide, and He has. I'm not knocking God for that. I love Him. He has definitely provided. I have lived through the winter. I didn't go hungry. I didn't freeze, you know. Plenty of times, though, you know, I'm almost out of diesel fuel for my diesel furnace, wondering, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? How am I going to... And then something would happen, or somebody... or I'm almost out of gas. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? And I wouldn't... With the churches, I went and asked for help. You know, but then I had regular community people that just, like, randomly offered or did it, you know, at the perfect times when I was, like, really in a tough spot and didn't know what I was going to do. And I'm still, you know, smiling, hey, how y'all doing today, you know? And, but they, either God guided them or they felt something or something. I don't know, because, like, one time, my friend Tony, who I talk about a lot, and I was just, you know, becoming his friend. He before I knew him as a customer, you know, at first, because of one of the businesses. And at one time I was getting diesel and putting, I don't know if it was $5-10 in diesel to keep diesel for that. And he told me, when you're done, turn it around, because my gas thing's on the opposite side where I put in the diesel for the diesel heater. He said, put it around and put $25 in your camper. He's got it. I said, are you for real? He said, yeah. I said, thanks. You know, that was huge. That was when gas wasn't as expensive as it is now, so that really helped put gas in my tank. But yeah, stuff like that's been going on, you know, so it's really nice. Not that I can't work. I'm able-bodied to work still. My body is getting older and sore, and I'm feeling it more. My back hurts and stuff. And that founder job was really whooping on my physical body, you know. But I did it, and I kept doing it. And but God wanted me to leave there. I talked about that in other videos too. It was a battle between me and God, because I wanted to save more money just in case I didn't find work. And it's almost like, you know, I'm not saying that's how it is, but because I battled him so much and didn't leave when I could feel him wanting me to leave that job, I kept telling him, I gotta save more money, you know, I gotta save more money. And I was trying to put more money into the camper, so in case I didn't find work, that I'd have money in case I had a problem or something, you know, if I didn't find work. And I put over $5,000 into the camper between alternators and shocks and brakes and repack bearings and new differential fluids and all this other stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff, but... And once you know... Oh, I'm getting long here. I can see it's getting long. I should really cut this short. But anyway, I've made it through the winter. Thank you, Lord. A few days ago, because it started getting warm, then we got some really cold weather again. We got some more cold weather on the way. But a couple days ago, I woke up, looked out my window, and there was 2 robins on the ground out there. And when you see robins in Minnesota, you know spring's coming. It ain't gonna be that nasty stuff no more. You might get a little snow and stuff yet, but normally it doesn't happen. And then the seagulls all came back. After the robins, I seen a couple seagulls one day, and then a couple days after that, there's like 30-40 seagulls in the parking lot. And I was like, yes. So that means the better weather's here. It doesn't solve my situation any, but at least I don't have to stress about freezing as much and staying warm as much, you know. Oh, I could go on, but we're going to cut this short for now, or it's not short because it's getting long, but thanks for watching. We'll show you my big old fat thumb. Bigger than my head, look at that. Give it a thumbs up if you would. When you talk to God, tell him what's on your mind. Just even if you just want to have a conversation, you ain't got to pray for anything particular. You can just talk to him. And when you do, tell him Darren says hi. God bless you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.